Hey Divas, I tried the Monsters and Memories playtest over the last few days. It's a new MMO, not even in early access yet. Monsters and Memories is an indie MMO developed by Niche World Games that seeks to recreate old-school EverQuest-era gameplay with its own unique take on the genre. There's a 12-day playtest happening now from November 1st through November 12th, so go try it out if this game interests you. Link in description. After playing the game for a few hours and getting my shaman to level 3, I have a pretty good handle on Night Harbor and the surrounding desert lands. Let's start with some of the good things about Monsters and Memories because I genuinely had a fun time playing this game. For pros, it's got grinding on mobs and slowly getting XP points and acquiring new skills, weapons, and armor. There are a lot of classes to play, 24 in total. There's so much replayability here and distinct class fantasies, which makes each player feel unique in-game. There are also many different races with unique character models like goblins, which are one of my favorites. The artist really snapped on this one and made something great for us MMO enjoyers. There's also decent looking gear and weapons in this game, lots of items with unique appearances to show off to other players. The world is interesting and enjoyable to explore. The lore and world building is there and makes the game feel immersive. Discovery is a big part of this game. They don't exactly spell it out for you, so you'll often be asking yourself, where am I? What is this? How strong is this monster? Before experiencing an untimely demise, of course, by said monster. Experimentation and death is all part of the fun. I generally do agree limited quality of life features make gameplay feel novel and rewarding in today's day and age of over-optimized and streamlined experiences. There's a real charm to this game, and you feel it immediately upon entering. The game incentivizes social interactions and cooperation, and captures that old-school feel perfectly. Let's not forget that Monsters and Memories is giving us actual new content in an MMO drought. The devs are putting in the work, and the community is generally very helpful. I was pleasantly surprised when a necromancer helped me locate my corpse that I had lost track of at night. The game's player population is decent. I've been really impressed with how full the game world feels, with a high of roughly 1,850 people playing concurrently. Cons. Let's start with the fact there is a 45-minute night cycle. For me, it's way too long, where I found myself logging off during the night cycle because I was bored or lost. I think reducing the amount of nighttime would be a huge improvement, especially for new players. Something like 20 minutes of night to 40 minutes of day. Or make the cycle shorter, like 8 minutes of night to 22 minutes of day seems more reasonable. Inventory management is clunky, requiring a few too many interactions to handle basic tasks. It was difficult to tag monsters due to high player count. More low-level enemies in a larger area would make it a smoother experience for lobies. In terms of the UI and visual design, generally the text is too small and not enough contrast with background elements, which makes it hard to look at, though it does faithfully recreate UI from 1999. I love that they are going for an old-school vibe, but there's a way to make it feel old-school and look old-school while adhering to modern visual design and UX principles. Beware of random jump scare loading screens. There's no markers showing where one zone ends and another begins, which makes it hard to know where to go to change zones. In addition, there's no in-game map. For me, this is immersion breaking, having to constantly alt-tab or use my phone to pull it up. It would be a more seamless experience to have a map in-game. I'm not saying add a mini-map, but a static, full-screen one that doesn't display your location on it. This would still require familiarity with your surroundings while keeping players in the game. In conclusion, I appreciate the lack of many quality of life features and basically zero hand-holding, ultimately creating a more immersive and social game that requires actual interaction between players. Unlike most modern MMOs that don't require you to interact with a single person to play the game, I do think there is a fine line in making sure the game is social while avoiding creating unnecessary friction that can lead to player frustration. For me, as someone who started playing MMOs in 2003, there are certain visual design and UX standards that I prefer in the games that I play. I do admire the commitment to reproduce a user experience built upon the tech capabilities of the 90s. However, improved UX and visual design would ultimately create a higher quality game and a healthier player base for this MMO. As of now, I don't think the developers have found the right balance yet between a polished user experience and a classic retro feel. It feels too clunky to fully enjoy, and certainly not worth a subscription fee for me personally. I'll keep trying out Monsters and Memories through the November playtest, and hopefully I'll be interested in playing at launch, if there are significant improvements to the game.